Good morning. Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show. How are you today? I'm just going to play this music. Our topic for today is before you say I do. What are the things that you should look out for before you say I do? Listen to this music. Oyenka is a very old music. While we wait for other people to join us this morning. It's a very important topic. It's Valentine season, and we honestly want people to find the right choices. We do not want women or men to make mistakes. So please invite your friends to join us in this discussion of before you say I do. Hi, this is Ehinor on Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show, and it's our Valentine series. The song says, if you love me, you go wait for me. Is that man ready to wait for you? Is that woman ready to wait for you? It's a very relaxing Friday, so please invite your friends. Thank you for tuning in. If you love me, you go wait for me. Wonderfully Made Woman believes in healthy relationship, and that's why we're passionate about this topic today. I can't see the comments here. Wait for me, make you plan with me. Hello, good morning. Sorry for keeping you waiting. We're about, I think, 30 minutes late, and that's because the internet was playing up. My name is Ehinor, as you all know, or most of you know, and I'm the host for Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show. Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show aims to address issues relating to women and girls. It means that even as a man, this show is for you. Like I always say, if you're a man and you've got a wife, you've got daughters, you've got sisters, or you were born of a woman, then this show is certainly for you. Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show is on every Friday at 11 a.m. Our aim is to address issues, discuss issues that people will normally not talk about, and we started in 2017. So if you want to view some of those topics that we have addressed before, you can go on our Facebook page, Wonderfully Made Woman, or on our YouTube channel, Wonderfully Made Woman, to see topics like the confident woman, confident girl, suicide, domestic effect on domestic violence. We did a series of domestic violence issues. We talked about FGM, female genital mutilation. We've talked so much about our success story series. Good morning, Samantha. Good morning, Julia. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. So we've discussed a lot of topics. We've actually discussed the joy of a grandma. We've discussed so many topics: IVF, cancer, success stories. Please do go on our YouTube channel to watch our series, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our Facebook page. It's an interesting day today for me. It's Valentine. What are you doing? What is your plan for Valentine? You know, this is a season where a lot of people get so excited, and we also have a lot of people who get so depressed because they feel that they have nobody to express their love to. They feel that there's nobody there to take them out. But the aim of this show today is to help you build your confidence, to make you realize that Valentine is about first loving yourself, appreciating who you are, and be able to love other people. So this topic I'm treating today is a topic I've actually treated in 2017 when we started our Affairs of the Heart show, discussing issues that relate to relationship, healthy relationship. And today we're discussing the same topic because it's so vital in our society, in our day-to-day lives, in the things that are happening everywhere. And it is before you say I do. For those of you watching, I want to encourage you to take part, participate. Tell me, what is it? Those things that people need to look out for before they say I do to their spouse to be. So please, I'll encourage you to share your views. Someone is about to get married as a lady. What are the things that you should be aware of before you can actually accept to marry that man? Valentine is a time of love. People say everyone is excited. The days are coming close and people are buying clothes. There's so many events around the city, in churches, in the community centers. And today I really want to address this topic because most times when we do events and shows, people don't address the real things, and we see people making the same mistakes when they get married. So what are the things that you look out for when a man says he wants to marry you, he wants to engage you? What are the things that you should look out for? Number one, what are the things you should do as a woman? If you are a single woman, I always want to encourage you to live your life as a single person. Marriage doesn't complete you. Marriage, it's on its own, doesn't bring happiness to you. You have to find your own happiness as a single woman. You have to be content with yourself. Good morning, Adeyinka. Good morning. Oh, Julia, she says, I'm in that position right now. My number one point is he a man of God? Good. If you're a Christian, that is number one. Is he a man of God? Does he have a personal relationship with God? As a Christian, Julia, I personally do not believe that you should just say yes to a man who is always in church. He's a church worker, he's a minister or whatever. Find out if that person has a personal relationship with God. Is that person afraid to do things that God will not want him to do? Is that person conscious when he's in a secret place, to do those things, that is right before God, not before man? So is he having a personal relationship with God? That's her number one. That's fair enough. Good point. Number one, what is his relationship with his mother like? Why are women so scared of that? What do you mean by Julia? I need you to explain. What is the relationship with the mother? Like I said before, most times as women, we are always scared of having mother-in-laws or sister-in-laws, that's because of the negative things that we have seen in our community. And most times, you know, when we were growing up, we used to pray those days that God, you know, if I'm going to get married, I don't want mother-in-law, I don't want sister-in-law. But one thing we forget is that we are women, and very soon we're going to be mother-in-laws, and we're going to be somebody's sister-in-law. So please do not pray such prayers. In as much as you see a lot of mother-in-laws or sister-in-laws that are bad, I can tell you there are still very good ones. So yes, look at the kind of mother she has. Is she a godly person? Does she believe in marriage? Is she the one that appreciates relationship? Is she controlling? Those are the things you should look out for. So if the guy is always saying, my mom said this, my mom says I should do this, everything is mom, 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 please be very conscious to find out if that man has his own mind, whether he'll be able to take decisions by himself. That's not to say that there are times that mothers will always be there to give advice and all that, but as a man, if a man is ready to get married, he should be matured enough to actually take decisions by himself, not be influenced by any mother, sisters, friends, families. Same as the woman. If a man is about to get married to a woman, the man should be sure that the woman is matured enough to take decisions by herself. The woman is matured enough to be able to really stay in a relationship. Okay, Julia says whether the man is respectful or the mother-in-law to be is respectful. That's very important. Respect is important. But first of all, as a single lady, you need to love yourself. It's Valentine season, and when was it on Wednesday? A lot of women were calling because we normally have these Valentine parties, get together. At times we go out and do outreach just to make women happy. And one of the things I told the women, I said, yes, we will have a party, but even without the party, you need to be happy on Valentine's Day. If you are the type that loves a card and there's no man to buy a card for you, go to the shop, buy a card for yourself, address it to yourself, go out with your friends, enjoy yourself. It's just one day in a month or one day in a year. You don't have to kill yourself because there's no man beside you. So women, please take note. Be happy in yourself. Find happiness within your environment. You know, enjoy yourself as a single person. Number 2, communication. Most times we hear people say communicate, communicate, communicate. What is it that you're communicating? When you are about to get married, you're in a relationship, what is it that you're communicating with the man? Is it just talking about love? Are you talking about the kind of marriage you want, the kind of house you want to stay, the number of children you want to have, the kind of career, your career? Sometimes we see women, you know, career women, when they get married, the husband stops them from going to work. Those things you need to address. If a man is interested in marrying a housewife, and you know as a woman that you're not the housewife type, you're not the type that will stay at home, you're a career person, you want to go to work, or you're a business person, find out, would you be able to stop that work? Don't ever think that when you get married, the man is going to change and allow you to go to work. So if the man is saying, no, I want a woman who will stay at home and take care of the children, and you know that you're not that kind of person, there is no point saying, yes, I will marry you. Because once you get married, that will be a problem for you. Your finances, talk about your finances. What you want to do with your money. You know, these days I hear a lot of preaching where people, you know, ministers are saying, oh, you must have a joint account. You know, for you to be a one and united, you must have a joint account. Find out, both of you, do what works for you. I tell people, you know, marriage itself, a friend tells me all the time, marriage itself, there is no manual for it. If you are in a relationship and you feel that a joint account is good for both of you, you can, you're okay with it, that's fine. But if you believe that joint account will bring problems, I don't see joint account, you know, being a proof of good marriage or bring unity. So it depends on what you want. Discuss your finances, how you want to live your life, how you want to be able to save, you know, for the future, for your children. And communicate about your finance, communicate about your religion, communicate about the things that you want, your business, communicate about how your love life is going to be. Communicate about your love life, which is very, very important. I remember those days, and maybe now, I don't know, when you go for counseling in churches, for example, you find out that they will tell the woman, to be a good wife, you have to be submissive, you have to cook the food, you have to set the table in a particular way, you have to buy special plates, you have to buy cups, you have to do this, you have to do that. They're already laid down principles of what a woman should do. And they will tell the man, as a man, you are the provider, you are the head of the family. It means that you have to provide. Those things are good. But the truth is, it is not the church, your parents, your friends that are going to be in that marriage. It is you and this man. So you need to sit down and find out, this man I'm about to marry, is it the type that wants me to cook for him? Most times, generally, we say that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But do you know there are exceptions to that? I've actually seen men who say, that's not the way to, you know, to my heart. The way to my heart is sex. The way to my heart is just normal respect. The way to my heart is, you know, see my woman look good. So you need to find out from your spouse to be, what does he want? You know, you need to ask him, my dear husband to be, or whatever you call him, how do you want me to love you? How do you want me to love you? Not how the church wants me to love you, not how the society expects me to love you, not how my family or his family expect you to love him. Find out what the man wants, what he likes, and work with that. Don't assume it's when you buy plates and put food on the table, that is when the man will love you. There's so many relationships that are broken down. And the reason the woman is so bitter and hurt is because all those things that were told during counseling, she did everything. And yet the man still lives and misbehaves. And you're wondering, what is it that I've not done? I've done everything for him and he left. Did you find out what are the things that he wanted? Communicate effectively. Be very specific when you're communicating. Be very, very specific when you are communicating. This man, I want to marry him. What does he want? And as a man, if you know, as a man, you need to find out, these are the things this woman like. Is it something I can cope with? If there are the things that you cannot cope with, don't ever think that this person might change when you get married. For example, Julia, you said a good idea is to do the live love language, to learn how your partner gives and receives love. Exactly. Find out. It's very, very important. I hardly see, you know, the Christian counseling session talk about that. They talk about those basic things of what our parents and grandparents did, the cooking and all that. Men don't want all those things. A lot of men cook these days. A lot of men even cook better than women. A lot of men have been trained. I'm training my son to be able to go to shop to cook. So I don't think cooking will be his priority when he wants to get married. So find out, what does your husband to be want? What does your wife to be want? How does she want to be loved? Don't just think that when you buy clothes or when you pay the bills, that's all. You need to find out what this person wants. And that's why I'm so fed up with a lot of, you know, marriage events and Valentine events where they don't talk about these things. You cannot use what is working for you as a standard of what will work for another person in their home. Yes, there are some things that you can, you know, mentor people about. There are some things you can advise them on. But the fact that your own husband, or you know, likes his food to be on the table doesn't mean you should go out and preach to other single sisters and that is the way the marriage should work. That is the way your own is working. It might not work for B. So you need to communicate about what you want, about how you want to be loved. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about everything. that you want to. Don't be shy. Even the Bible says that Adam and Eve, they were naked and they were not ashamed. This is the person you want to get married to. You need to start talking. The reason a lot of women get into depression and hurt is because that I realize that a lot of women actually fall in love before they start talking. So you see a man today who maybe is good looking, you like what he does and all that. You've not communicated the kind of things that you want. By the time you fall in love, you realize that, oh, I don't want this, I don't like this, I don't like this. And because women are really emotional being, it's always difficult to pull out. But I want to encourage you this morning. If you are in a relationship or you have fallen in love with someone and you realize that this and this are the things that will not work for me, I cannot cope with it, I want to encourage you to be confident enough to walk away from that relationship. They always say that a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. So please do make sure that you're communicating the right thing to that person. Make sure you're communicating the right thing. Talk, and talk. Know what it is to have a healthy relationship. What is a healthy relationship? Are you the one who is not bothered whether the man is going to be abusive, or maybe he's already abusive and you think, oh, it's fine because, hi Rose, thank you for joining in. You are okay. The man is saying, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to slap you. He's giving you signs that he's an abusive person. And because you're in love and maybe you've been together for years, you can't break that relationship. As a woman, before you say I do, make sure that relationship is healthy. Make sure that that person respects you enough to be able to, to be able to listen to you, the things that you want, the things that you don't want. Make sure you are in a healthy relationship. Never be in a relationship that the man is talking down on you, and as a man, never be in a relationship that the woman talks down on you. Be very sure that you are in a healthy relationship. If the relationship is not healthy, please. Julia says, any signs of abuse, run. So if you see any sign, you have a boyfriend and he's already lifting his hand, what are you waiting for? Don't give excuse and say, it's because I actually annoyed him. Women, I'm talking to you, it's Valentine, and your minds are all over, you're in this love mood, you're desperate, you're under peer pressure, families are putting pressure on you, people are buying ring. Yes, it's good, but please do not be desperate to a point where you actually say yes to a man that's going to be abusive. And if you're a man watching as well, never be so desperate to go and buy a ring for a woman you know is going to be slapping you tomorrow. It's not worth that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. For you, before you say I do, there's so many social media love now. You need to be sure the person you're falling in love with on social media is real. Be sure that the boobs, the bum, and everything you see on picture is actually real. I was watching a video recently, when I go to some parties, I used to see these women, they have the same fine shape, they're not like me, and their waist is just, is gone in, and their boobs and their bum, and I used to just, wow, what kind of exercises are they doing? But I was shocked to find out that there is actually a dress you put on. So there was this lady who was like maybe size 8 or so. She actually, pulled the dress in. Her bum, the dress is made with a big bum and the boobs. If that kind of person, goes to a party, you are the man, you love to see boobs and bum, you're going to go for that girl. But be very sure that that thing that you're admiring is real. There's so many fake things around now. Fake women, fake men. Even the men have started putting, wig on their head. You need to be sure that the person you're going to say, yes, I do to, and as a man, the person you're going to engage is real. There have been cases also where You know, the man will want to divorce the woman on the day of their wedding because he's not the person she's expecting. How do you even date somebody for 1 month, 2 months, I don't know how many months, and that person is always on with makeup? You've never seen her without makeup. You've never seen her real self. You know, you've never seen. You need to be conscious. You need to be conscious. And women, please be real. Be confident enough to appear the way you are. I tell every woman, whether you're slim, whether you're big, whether you're short, whether you're slim, there is always a man that will like the way you are. There is always a man. Don't listen to social media rubbish that tells you have to be size 6, you have to be size 8, you have to be only size 10 for a man to love you. There are some men that like size 20, size 18, size 16. Be comfortable with who you are. If you want to be in a good shape for health purpose, let it be because of health purpose. Don't reduce to size 8 when you know you're actually size 16. Then after wedding, you lose yourself and the man is saying, wow, I didn't expect this. So you need to be real. You need to be real with yourself. So those of you watching, I need you to, you know, share your views. What are the signs that a woman should look out for when they are about to say, yes, I do? What are the signs a man should look out for? So be real. Be real. Let the man see you without makeup, and you'll be confident enough to say, you know what, I'm going to stay without makeup. Let him see the real me. Let him see. That's not a sin. He needs to see the real you. There is even this thing they use now to tie their tummy. You think that every woman has flat tummy, not like mine. By the time the night of their wedding, the woman takes off the, what's it called now? You see the ghetto or whatever is flattening tummy, whatever they call it. I don't use those things. You see that the woman's tummy is so big. What do you expect that man to do? What do you expect that man to do? So please be very, very real. Be open to positive things. Be very positive. Communicate effectively. Talk about everything. Talk about everything. Talk about your love life. Talk about how you want your sex life to be. Not on the day of wedding. This one is doing something else. That one is doing something else. It should be part of counseling session. It should be part of it. There are some crazy men these days that the kind of ideas they have about sex, you don't want to know on your wedding night. You need to find out. You need to find out. I know some Christians might not agree, but you need to talk. You need to find out from this man. Is it the man who wants sex through the anus? Because you might not like it. It's not healthy for me personally. You don't want to wait on your wedding day and you see such. Then they start to tell you should be submissive. Is it the man who doesn't even like sex? You need to talk about the kind of things. We all have fantasies. What are your fantasies? Talk about it. And be sure that you are compatible. We always say when we're doing counseling, oh, the man and the woman should be compatible. What does being compatible mean to you? What does being compatible actually mean to you as a woman? How do you know you are compatible if you don't talk about it? How do you know you are compatible if you do not talk about it? Samantha says to me, I can't see this. Wait. He says to me, realness is just the key because at times love is not enough. Compatibility is the word. Fake packaging must break the marriage. Compatibility. We are packaging ourselves. You know, when I watched that video, I watched it up to how many times? I could not imagine somebody who is size 8. That lady is not up to size 8. Why you want to wear a cloth, and by the time she wore that dress, she was bigger than me. Her boobs were big, her bums were big, then her waist, you know, was so tiny. I'm like, wow. This is what these women wear to parties, and you admire them and you begin to feel sorry for yourself that you're not doing enough exercise. So imagine that kind of lady goes out to party with that dress of big bum and big boobs. And a man who loves big boobs and big bum is attracted to that lady and says, you know what, I like you. And they start talking. You know that lady is going to continue wearing those things. Continue wearing those things. How do you know that that lady is not that size? How are you going to know that? How are you going to know that? You need to start talking. Touch it and be sure it's fake. I watched a video of a man where he's bald, and you know, the way they put the wig and everything. I'm thinking, what is going on now? Why are people so, you know, so fake? Why all this packaging? For what? People used to be very confident in their size, confident with the way they look, you know. Yes, look good, but I don't understand this extra packaging of, you know, wearing a dress that is like, the bottom should be like size 22 or 24. The boobs, I'm thinking, a size 8 girl. That is the highest level of low self-esteem. That is the highest level. And I started laughing. I told my sister, I said, can you imagine this life? Why people are preaching on social media for us to turn to size 8. There is a size 8 woman who wants to be like me. Life. You see, God has made you unique. God has made you special the way you are. You need to love yourself. Start loving yourself. Until you learn to love yourself, nobody is going to love you. So compatibility. So that's why, what does that mean to you to be compatible? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Before you say, Rose says, I agree, sister. Be you from day one, and he will either love you or walk away. Exactly. Be you. Just be you. I've seen big women, even bigger than me, that have wonderful husbands. So don't listen to lies telling you, oh, you have to have this, you have to have. It's good to live healthy. It's good to have a good shape. But please know that you were not born a slim person. Know that you were not born, know who you are. We can never be the same. It will be a boring world if we all be the same. And also know that men, they love different tastes. Some men like it slim, some like it big. So make sure you're compatible. Before I forget one very important issue, before you say you do, even before you fall in love, once you know that this man is asking you out as a woman, please check your genotype. Check your genotype. I wrote it last, but I don't want to forget. Check your genotype. You know, when I was growing up, that was one thing they taught us, in school, to check our genotype. If you're AA, you can marry AS or SS. But if you're SS or you're AS, please don't be too spiritual and say, you don't care. We are tired of, bringing up children that are sickle. It breaks my heart. I've lost family members. I've lost friends, with sickle cell disease. Please check your genotype. When you know that a man is in love with you, or you are now in love with that man, do check your genotype. Be sure that you are compatible. Check your genotype. Be sure that you are in the same religion and you're okay with whatever God that you serve. Be sure of where you want to stay. Be sure of how many children you would love to have, or whether the children don't come, whether you're still going to stick together. Be sure that you're ready to accept your in-laws. If you're an African person, I'm sure even the white people, when you marry a man, you're automatically marrying every other person in the family. So you cannot say, oh, I love this man, and you want to push everybody away. No, that is not right. Adesso says, fakeness is the new real. It's so sad that we don't even appreciate God anymore. Honestly, it breaks my heart. Everything is fake. Fake. Some people sleep with eyelashes. Why? Some women sleep with eyelashes. Something that you should do and just go to party and, take up makeup. I know women who tell me that, I actually sleep with makeup. And I'm saying, why? Why are you sleeping with makeup? It's not even healthy for your skin. Those days we used to be, we used to appreciate ourselves. How many women can go out now without makeup anymore? And you put down long lashes. The man has seen you all your life while dating you with the eyelashes. By the time you get married, or maybe when you're ill or pregnant or you're about to give birth, you take off eyelashes. What do you think that man is going to do if that was what attracted him to you? Why? Fakeness is now the real. Everyone is fake. Be real as a woman. Be real. Look for a man that works. Look for a man that works. I will repeat it the third time. Don't say yes, I do to a man who is not working. There's so many lazy men out there now. They don't want to work. When I was growing up, you know, guys used to look for women who will be responsible, who have the fear of God, who have potentials, who are going to school or about to finish school. These days, the same men who are looking for good women, they don't actually look for good women. A man wants to look for a wife, the first thing he's thinking is, what is he bringing to the table? What kind of job is she doing? But you are there that you're supposed to provide. Thank you, H. We say thanks for this wonderful discussion because it helps and strengthens one's view about relationship. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. You know, you don't look for a man that is not working. I'm not talking about a man that has potential. A man who has just, maybe you were dating him and somehow he lost his job and you're not finding a way to, you know, for praying and making sure that the man is able to bounce back. There's so many lazy men out there with six-pack going to the gym by this time when they should be at work. I don't understand. Women, please be real to yourself. What are you looking for in a man? Before you say I do, are you just admiring a man with, I'm not saying six-pack is bad or all six-pack are lazy, but majority of them, honestly, they are lazy. They are lazy. What do you want to do with that? They are there carrying, you know, doing the push-up and all that. They can't provide for you. Is it finance you want to eat? If you marry a man because he's fine, when you get married and there are responsibilities that he can't take care of, that finance becomes ugly in your sight. So if you, before you say I do to any man, make sure he's a man that loves to work. He's a man that provides, that is willing to provide. A man who has not even a room over his head. Why do you want to get married? Marry a responsible person that has a future, that is planning, that is thinking. That's the kind of man you should go for. Don't marry lazy people. There's so many people, I don't know about Africa, in the UK now. Some men don't work. Some men have turned to house husband. They don't work anymore. They don't want to enter the code. They don't want to do anything. You know, it's so sad. And yet, a lot of churches are not talking about it. You know, we go to church, we have meetings for women, and we talk about how to be submissive, how to be a good wife, how to be a good mother. The men are having meetings, and it's all about how to build business. They're not telling them to be responsible. And that's because some pastors are not working. It's their wife laboring for them. So how do you expect a pastor who is not working to encourage other men to work? Very difficult. But the church should be encouraging, not encouraging, telling the men to work. You need to work as a man. If you're a woman, you don't go for such man. A man who is not ready to work, all he does is to lie down and think of ideas. He's going to be big, he wants to be big, he wants to be this. Nothing. If you are a man, you should be ready to do any job. You should be ready to do anything that brings food on your table. Any job that is legal. You should not be ashamed to provide. So please do not look for six-pack who will just be there, you know, bouncing, so irritating. You know, a lot of them not working, lazy set of people. Lazy set of people. You don't need that rubbish. For me, I tell women, any man that is lazy, going to the gym morning to night, looking at the mirror, the hair, what's all that? And it's so unfortunate that a lot of women get attracted to such. Why get attracted to a man who is not ready to work, that is lazy, that will sit at home? Some men even sit down and collect benefits. For what? For what? For what, really? You just sit there. You're doing fine, Bob. Please, women, be very, very, sensitive to things like that. Be very, very sensitive to things like that. Don't forget that when you have a lazy husband, your children will grow up and think that is a normal thing to do. So you don't want a lazy person. I'm encouraging you people, don't fall in love with a lazy six-pack. There's some six-pack that are working, that is good. You know, a friend on Facebook actually posted a picture days ago of this six-pack fine boy, you know, and they said the man cooks, does the cleaning and everything before the wife comes back, but the only problem is that the man does not like 9-to-5 job. He doesn't like to work, but he likes to do house chores. And they were asking women, would you go for such a man? Of course no. Why? If you're doing those things in the house, it's because that's our home. Those things will make any woman happy, but that should not be your work as a man. You don't want to go out to work just cleaning the house. For who? Clean the house, that's additional. Please, men, if you're listening, please work. Work. If you're looking for, the reason a lot of men are not seeing wives now is because they are looking for a high-class woman, a doctor, a nurse, somebody who already has a home. These days, men, they are looking for women who have homes so they can just move into. It's not right. You need to work. Please work. Thank you. Plan before you say you do in a relationship. Have you planned? Have you actually planned your life? Have you planned, or is it just the man doing the planning? And as a man, is it just the woman doing her own planning of what she wants to do this year, next 2 years, and you're there? Have you really, really planned? Have you planned your lives? You need to think about that as well. Have you planned your life? And the one I want to talk about now is, please, before you say I do, find out from this man if this ring he's putting in your hand is going to be for 5 years before he finally marries you. Honestly, a lot of men engage women to tie them down. So you engage a woman 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, you're engaged. And the whole community feels that you're married. For a man to say, ask you whether you should marry, the man should be ready. You should have talked about it. If you're going to get married, okay, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, this is how we're going to do it, this is what we're going to do, this is how the date is going to be. Don't just say, yes, I do. Oh, he's engaged me, it's Valentine, my boyfriend engaged me. And the next 5 years, you're still engaged. Why? Before a man goes out to buy a ring, I'm sure he should be sure of when he wants to do it. Before a man says, oh, you know this lady, you're going to be my wife, that man should be sure of the time limit. And I say it all the time. I've said it in a video before. Never be a wife to a boyfriend. Women, listen to me. Never be a wife to a boyfriend. Never. Never be a wife to a boyfriend. The reason a lot of men are not eager to marry anymore is because those days, men rush to marry women. Because when you are dating, you're not going to the house, you're not cooking, you're not doing those things that you should do. So the man wants to marry and keep you. You know, the man wants to marry and keep you. He's afraid of losing you. These days, it's in reverse. Hello, Ehinor, but the man can operate restaurants and some since it's like cooking and cleaning. Oh my goodness, Ehinor, thank you. If the man is doing that cooking and selling the food, that's work. Yeah, men have restaurants. There are some who put it on social media. So if the cleaning is providing money, I don't know how that will provide if you're cleaning your room. But if you're cooking and selling, yes, you're working. Anything legal, do. But just to sit at home and clean and, you know, when the man, no. I don't believe in that. Engage her and hope the future will be better. Yes, engage her, but for how long do you stay in an engagement? A lot of women have waited for 6, 18. Was it last year we did a show and My guest was telling me that there's some people actually wait for 8 or 11 years. I can't remember. And I got so upset. I said, why would a girl wait for 8 years? Why would a man engage somebody for 8 years? That's wickedness. Just imagine that person is your daughter. For 8 years, the woman should have given birth to all her children. For 5 years, if you know you want to marry in 5 years' time, why are you engaging a woman who is already ready to marry now? That's what we're talking about, being compatible. It follows. So as a woman, if you're ready to marry maybe in June or July, or by the end of the year, and a man is engaging you and telling you we'll marry in 5 years' time, why are you accepting that ring? Please take a walk and look for somebody who is ready. You're not compatible. What you want is not what he wants. But one thing I found out about women always tend to believe that the man will change. Women always tend to believe that the man will change. So a man has engaged you. You say, oh, yes, yes, yes. You never discussed. Before a man puts the ring on the finger, somehow you already know that you're compatible. You already know the plans. So now the whole world knows. The church knows that this is your husband-to-be or wife-to-be, your family, and some part of Nigeria, they're already calling you Iyawo. You know, you're already wife. When the man is doing something in the family, you go there and wear the ashoebi with them as a wife. Then 5 years down the line, the man doesn't marry you. How do you tell people now that you were never married? How do you tell people? Some even go the extra mile. You are laughing. How do you go? How do you start telling them? You know, when I was in school years ago, there was this lady, and that taught me a lesson. I've always known this lady with this man, and I thought they were married, but never had children. So I just see them, everybody call them husband, wife, and somehow, after about, I think 9 years or so, I don't know how stupid somebody, after 9 years, this man traveled abroad, you know, saw the schoolmate who was living in the US or so, and fell in love with her, and decided to marry that girl. Now this lady, that it was at that time I got to realize that they were never married. He only just engaged her. But this is a woman I know that goes to the markets. People are calling her wife, Iyawo, you know. You know, everybody thought she was a wife. And she was so bitter. She was so bitter. I felt for her. But I thought in my mind, why would she stay? Why did the man not marry her? Why did the man not marry her? A woman believes, he said, a woman believes that the man will change because she wants to bleach him to another color. I don't know why we women, that's why they say we have fish brain. Please, let's stamp out from this fish brain they call us. Why do you think that man will change? So the woman was asking for compensation. But what kind of money, you know, will pay for those 9 years of your life? What kind of amount are you going to have? And I don't know if that woman is married now. And there are a lot of women who fall into that category. I tell people, some people say, oh, you know, you can be mean. I said, when it comes to relationship, never be afraid to take a walk. You know, a man engages you and tells you, oh, we're going to get married. Yeah, finish. Another year, another year, another year. He's still looking. Why? And you are there. They are looking for John's wife or Peter's wife. You are coming out. Eh? They're having a party. Maybe Christmas or a Muslim fair, whatever. You come out. You wear ashebi with them. Are you for real, women? You need to stop this rubbish. You are wearing ashebi, wearing uniform with your boyfriend. I tell people, please call him boyfriend. I don't like this, what they call it? Partner, fiance. I don't like those words. He's your boyfriend. I want to marry you and I have married you. They are two different things. That's why a man can walk out and a woman can walk out from relationship. I want to marry you and I have married you. They are two separate things. So when a man is dating you, whether he has given you a ring and told your family, I want to marry your daughter, it's still not enough to start living with the man, wearing the same uniform to church or whatever, and acting Mr. and Mrs. I actually know some people who told me that they actually went to Argos to buy a ring for themselves because they were tired of the man buying the ring. Will you reduce yourself to nothing because of marriage? Marriage doesn't make you happy. Doesn't make you a happy person. You need to be happy with yourself. Women, you need to be happy. You need to be content with yourself as a single person. You need to, you need to position yourself in such a way that the man is in a rush to go and marry you. No, you're going to purchase ring for yourself. Some are the ones, some women actually, provides the money for their own bride price. How desperate can we be? Why? And when you get married, you see that things are not working. you paid for your own head. At times, devil does not do those things. Look at the foundation of it. Many of us have made that mistake. Because you're so desperate, you do your own wedding. I'm not saying don't support the man, but paying your own bride price? For what? For what, really? Yes, 9 years are this way. I've seen 11. I've seen 11 years in a relationship. The only thing is that the woman doesn't have a child. Some finally even start giving birth. We've been staying together. So what's remaining? Everybody knows us. Pastor has even accepted us. And you, because you feel you have spent so much time with this man, you now agree. You start to have children. I remember a story of a woman who, they never paid, for those of you who are not Africans, in Africa, we pay bride price. That is the real marriage, paying of bride price. There was this lady, they didn't pay her bride price. They just did the court and, no, I don't think they even did court. The blessing, what they call it, because she was already having children. 14 years later, when they had problems, the man's family told her, we did not marry you. When did we pay your bride price? And that was how they dragged that thing. And the same husband said to her, I never married you. This is the one I want to marry now. No, imagine, even the ones they marry, they walk away. You that they did not marry at all, what do you think will happen to you? Women, let's not be desperate this season. It's Valentine, so what? One day in a year, you can't take yourself out? Do you really need to go out? Don't be carried away with what is happening on social media or what your friends are saying. What's Valentine's Day? You show yourself love. Go out, buy card for yourself. Address it to yourself. Go and buy clothes for yourself. And wear. Take yourself out. If you're in Africa, very wonderful. It's sunny. There's beach everywhere. You don't have to be desperate to that point where you are now the one buying ring for the man to put in your hand. Why? Then you've moved everything to the man's house. They are calling you wife. They are doing Christmas. You are helping them. They are doing this. You are doing that. You are wife now. So tell me, when you are already behaving like a wife, what's the man? Why would he rush to marry you? You have even bought ring for yourself. You have helped the man now. Everybody is saying it. Then some women actually go and make sure that they buy 10 yards of material so that she and the white man can wear. Who are you deceiving? Be confident in yourself. Be confident in yourself, women. Be confident in yourself. Be confident. Even as men watching, before you marry a woman, be sure it's the kind of woman that you want. Don't think it's even easier to mold women and change them. When you show them love, they could just change. But when you see a woman who is already aggressive before you even say, would you marry me? And you go and marry her. The day she's angry, she will carry the pot and hit your head. What are you going to say at that time? So before you say I do, look out for these things. They tell us, oh, communicate. What are you communicating? What are you communicating? Even to the things that you wear, communicate about it. What attracts the man? What attracts the woman? You know, you need to communicate. Don't just go for counseling. And please, ministers of God, when you are doing counseling, you need to do your review. It is not what is working for you that will work for another person. Oh, I set the table for my husband. I did this. I bought this plate. It doesn't mean that Mr. A wants that. Maybe Mr. A wants to see the wife in bed when he comes back. Don't confuse people. Don't confuse the younger generation. Talk to men and talk to women. Tell the men to be responsible. Tell the men to be responsible. You know, don't force them to do things. Oh, a woman, if you love your husband and you're submissive when you give him all your salary. What is that? It's only lazy men that do that. I know men who don't even care about their wife's salaries. So your wife have to bring all her salary to you before you praise her. I've seen a lot of very lazy pastors who praise their wife because their wife knelt down and gave them all her salary. And when you look at the woman so looking, looking so, oh Jesus. Well, lazy men are everywhere. Putting your eyes in woman's money. And you see that kind of man, you still go thinking it's going to change. A man is already telling you it's cold. Maybe we should go to job center and collect money. And you too, you think it's going to change. Before you say I do, if you are a responsible woman, you will know whether the man is doing a good job. He's not a fraud. Question everything. Don't just let the man tell you I'm an international businessman. He brings money and sprays all over you and you're happy. You don't check. Then tomorrow you give birth, they use your child for ritual or steal your pants. That's what is invoked now in Africa. Thank you, Mommy Dudu. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So please, I want you to also help me to share the video, everyone, for people to learn. Don't just be so carried away with a man engaging you. Don't be carried away because, a man wants to marry you. Marriage is good if you marry the right person. A man actually put on Facebook, he said, marriage is good when you marry the right person. When you don't marry the right man, it is bondage for life. Don't put yourself in bondage. Hey, Jiro, you need to take your time. Honestly, don't go and put yourself. Look for a man that will support your vision. Women, look for a man that will support your vision. A lot of women's vision are dead. Go and do research. If you find 10 women, ask them what they wanted to be in future. Find out after marriage if they actually achieved that thing. No. A lot of women's vision are dead because they did not marry a man that is secured. Many men do not have that confidence to push their wives up. They don't even want their wives to be up. So if you're somebody who has passion for something, be sure that the man you want to marry is the man that will lift you up and say, you know what, my wife, I know you can do this. I'm going to help you to do that. I'm going to support you to be up there. And men that are listening, when your wife is up there, who do you think takes the credit? It is you. They will say the wife of Mr. Ehinor Otaigbe is your wife. When your wife is up there, it is you, the man, that takes the credit. So why are you so insecure, men? And women, you see an insecure man, you enter. A lot of women, their career destroyed, their passion destroyed, their visions shattered. Then for you, as a woman, if you know you are not the type that wants to be a pastor's wife, you don't have to go for a pastor. A lot of women's vision are dead. Once you marry a pastor, the pastor, you saw the vision yourself to become a man of God, which is good. And it is also good for the wife to support you. But that is not to say that the woman will have to leave everything everything. She will not fulfill destiny because you now want her to become the pastor's wife. A lot of women have left their jobs. A lot of women are doing long hours because they want, my husband is not a pastor. I have to fast for 30 days. I have to do this. I have to do that. You are the one who saw the vision, Mr. Man. Your wife's duty is to be a helpmate, is to support you, to encourage you, to make sure that your own ministry is moving forward. But while she's doing that, please let that woman have her own vision. Let that woman fulfill her own destiny. Haven't you noticed in the African communities, once a man is a pastor, number one, they want to resign. I don't know where it is written in the Bible that once a man is a pastor, you don't go to work. Now the woman have to do longer hours while you are lazing about there. A lot of pastors' wives, I was looking at some pastors' wives that I know, they're all looking old. They're looking old. I don't want to mention names. Some have contacted, what is going on? Oh, stress. You know this work now. You know that work. Please. Be confident to be able to know what you want to do. That your husband is a pastor doesn't mean you can't fulfill your own destiny. It doesn't mean even people who are president, their wives still do their own thing. Their wives still do their own thing. So before you say I do, I don't know if it's more than 30 minutes now. Is it more than? It's 1 hour now. Oh my goodness, I need to stop. This topic is something I want to continue this February. I've not done this affairs of the heart for a long time. And I just feel it's very necessary for me to address these issues. Because the Valentine event I'm seeing on social media, I don't know what they want to talk about. Address issues. Address issues. Address real issues. Address real issues. A lot of women are suffering in their marriages. And you that you're single, you don't want to be in that position. So please, before you say I do, be sure that the man is a godly person. Very important, personal relationship with God. Never be too carried away with one person that is doing 10 work in church. Never be too carried away. And if you're a man, you want to marry a woman, be sure is a woman who is going to submit to you. Be sure it's a woman who is not going to give you hell. Because there are a lot of women too that give men hell to a point that the man cannot even fulfill his dream. Be sure you're compatible. Whatever that word means to you. Communicate your love life, your sex life, everything, communicate about it. And you know that if you're struggling, you can actually come to us. We have, people who are actually counseling others in our organization, men and women who have been there for years in that school of marriage, who will tell you the way it is. So please, you can contact us. He said, please, women and men, think again before you get into marriage. Thank you so much, Ejiro. Honestly, think again. Marriage is not a bed of roses. Marriage is hard work. Marriage is not a 50-50 commitment. Marriage is 100% commitment. So if you're not ready to give your 100%, don't go into it. If you are not ready to give don't listen to people that say 50-50. If you find out from there are people who are not even happy themselves. If you're going to get into marriage the way God designed marriage, you give all of you. You give all of you. And if you're not ready, honestly, you don't have to. Because whether you're married or not, it doesn't stop you from, being happy, really. So please, before you say I do, next week, is it Wednesday or Thursday is Valentine's Day? Fine. Be sure. Do I really want to accept this ring? Is it worth it? A lot of men have put women in bondage. He wants to marry me 1 year. He wants to marry you 2 years. He wants to marry you. You cook breakfast, lunch, wash, do everything. For a man, boyfriend. That man will not marry you because you're already a wife. There is no point for him to go and start spending his money. Keep yourself. Put that respect on yourself. Let the man respect you enough to want to marry you. So please, next week is Valentine. Next week, Friday, I'm going to be talking about another thing that has to do with relationship. That's what I'm going to be talking about this month of February. You know, and if you have any question, you can send me a text on 078-466-20160. You can email us. You can send me messages. So next week, I'm going to be reading out some things that people have sent. I couldn't compile it just between yesterday and today. So please, I want to stop here, really. I want to stop here. I can talk for hours on these issues. Before you get married, before you say, yes, I do, live your life as a single person and be happy with yourself. Communicate effectively. You know what it is to have a healthy relationship. Never been in an abusive relationship. If you are, you can walk out of it. Be real. Stop the fake packaging. You need to stop that fake packaging. If you're a size 8, be size 8. Let the man see you. Don't go and carry size 24 boobs and bum. You know that you're going to pull on your wedding night. You know, that is fraud. Honestly, it's fraud. Be real. Be confident enough to, you know, to show who you are. Honestly. Plan why you're about to get married. Find out, why do I want to get married? Am I going into this because there's pressure from family, from friends? Am I ready? Do I really want to be married? Those are the questions you should ask yourself. Never marry a man who is not working. Never do it. Never marry a lazy six-pack or whatever. Never do it. And please check your genotype. Find out if you're compatible, you know, to get married, so you don't have children and start to struggle with those children. So please, I know that I've not said everything because I don't know everything, but whatever contribution you have to make, do put them on the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, and always do encourage other people, if you have already liked our page, to like our page, and follow us on Twitter at WMadeWoman. Until same time next week, always remember that you are unique, you're beautiful, you're handsome if you're a man watching. There's no other person like you. That you are special in the eyes of God. And most importantly, that you are wonderfully made. Thank you, and until same time next week, have a blessed weekend. Bye.